Hello everyone, this is Mehak Soni from AITR. I am currently in my fourth year. I would like to present all about NoSQL. What is NoSQL? NoSQL is nothing but not only SQL. Let's see the introduction. Introduction says that it is an approach to database design that allows data to be stored and queried outside of the traditional structures found in relational databases. NoSQL databases are non-tabular. They are non-tabular databases that store data differently from the relational tables. In SQL, basically the data is stored in relational form in rows and the columns, but in NoSQL it is non-tabular. Means the data stored in NoSQL is non-tabular and they store information is in JSON document instead of columns and rows used by the relational databases. NoSQL databases are purpose-built for non-relational data models and have flexible schemas for building modern applications. NoSQL is much faster. It is much faster than traditional SQL databases regarding the read and the write operations, and especially in the key value storage. So this is all about the introduction of NoSQL. Let's see the overview. NoSQL is a type of database management system that is designed to handle and store large volume of unstructured as well as semi-structured data. So in NoSQL, what we do is basically we store a huge volume of unstructured and semi-structured data together. NoSQL. NoSQL databases are good fit for modern web applications, real-time analytics, and big data processing. NoSQL databases are divided in three types. So what basically it is, first one is RDBMS, means Relational Database Management System. Second one is OLAP, Online Analytical Processing. NoSQL, recently developed database. This is actually recently developed database. Now, key features of NoSQL. What are the key features? So first one is dynamic schema. It has dynamic schema. NoSQL databases do not have a fixed schema. It does not have fixed schema and can accommodate changing data structures without the need for migration or schema alteration. So second point is horizontal scalability. NoSQL databases are designed to scale out by adding more nodes to a database cluster, making them well suited for handling large amounts of data and high levels of traffic. So it handles large amount of data and as well as traffic. Document based. It is document based. So some NoSQL databases such as MongoDB uses a document-based data models where data is stored in a scales semi-structured format such as JSON and BSON. Key value based. Other NoSQL databases such as Redis use a key value data model where data is stored as a collection of key value pairs. So some more points are there. Column based. In column based, what it actually means, some NoSQL databases such as Cassandra use a column based data model where data is organized into columns instead of rows. In it, data is actually organized in columns instead of rows. Distributed and high availability. High availability means what? Highly available and automatically handles node failures and data replication across multiple nodes in a database cluster. Flexibility. Next point is flexibility. Allows developers to store and retrieve data flexibly and dynamically with support for multiple data types and changing data structures. Next, performance. Performance means handle a high volume of reads and the writes. Whatever the reads and the writes operation um, into the databases, it handles it a huge volume of read and writes operation basically, making them suitable for big data and real-time applications. Now, what are the advantages of NoSQL? So there are some advantages of NoSQL. There are many advantages, not some, there are many advantages of working with NoSQL databases such as MongoDB, Cassandra. The main advantages are high scalability and high availability. They are highly scalable. Its range varies and highly available. High scalability, flexibility, highly available, scalability, performance, and cost effectiveness and agility. So basically, these are the advantages of NoSQL. In this way, we can use NoSQL and get profit from it. Now, the disadvantages of NoSQL. What are the disadvantages? In which way it is not uh, effective to us? Lack of standardization, lack of ACID compliance. ACID here actually means atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. These are basically ACID properties we have studied in SQL as well. So here it is lack of ACID compliance. Here it lacks narrow focus, open source, lack of support for complex queries, lack of maturity, maintenance or management challenge. GUI is not available in NoSQL. GUI is not available. GUI is basically graphical user interface. It's not available in NoSQL. Backup, large document size. So this all are the disadvantages of NoSQL. Now, when should NoSQL be used? So, when a huge amount of data needs to be stored and retrieved, when we want to store huge amount of data and we want to retrieve that data, so in that case NoSQL is used when our data is huge in size. If it is not used, then we will use SQL. The relationship between the data you stored is not that important. The data changes over time and is not structured. So basically NoSQL has data which is structured as well as non-structured data. Support of constraints and joins is not required at the database level. So at the database level, what the constraint support and the joins is not required. Joins are basically what when we are adding two tables, then we need to perform join operation. In SQL, we have learned about it. So here it also means same only and support of constraints. Constraints here actually means the primary there are many constraints which are used in this data which are used to manage the database, that is primary constraints, uh, primary and secondary, and there are many more. uh, so the support of the constraints and joins is not required at the database level. At the database level, it is not required in it. The data is growing continuously and you need to scale the database regularly to handle the database. Because the data is continuously increasing as the technical use is very high nowadays. So the data is growing continuously and you need to scale the database regularly to handle the database. It is very essential or necessary to handle the data because it is growing tremendously. So these are the points which are required, or when should NoSQL be used. So this we need to keep in mind. Now let us conclude it. NoSQL databases offer several benefits over traditional relational databases, such as scalability, flexibility, cost effectiveness. These are the major reasons why we use NoSQL over traditional relational database, because it is very scalable, very flexible to use, and very cost effective also. Relational databases are much costly than the NoSQL databases, and it is not as much as flexible as NoSQL. However, they are also have several drawbacks, such as lack of standardization, lack of asset compliance, and lack of support of complex queries. In NoSQL, we cannot apply complex queries altogether, because as in relational databases we can apply complex queries, but in NoSQL we cannot. Complex queries are basically it means the nested queries, nested and nested and nested queries, which become more complex, and NoSQL databases are not do not support this complex queries. When choosing a database for a specific application, it is important to weigh the benefits and drawbacks carefully to determine the best fit. Okay, so whenever we are choosing the database, which database is suitable for our project or which database is not suitable for our project, we need to take care of it very nicely, that when choosing a database for a specific application, if we are making a specific application, we need to choose a database for it. It is important to weigh the benefits. We need to see the benefits of using that database and drawbacks as well, because pros and the cons we need to take care to make a beautiful application carefully. So here it is written that carefully to determine the best fit. Best fit means we get the best result out of it. So this is all about the conclusion. I would like to read it once again, that NoSQL databases offer several benefits over traditional relational databases, such as scalability, flexibility, cost effectiveness. However, they also have several drawbacks, such as a lack of standardization, lack of asset compliance, and lack of support for complex queries. When choosing a database for a specific application, it is important to weigh the benefits and the drawbacks carefully to determine the best fit. So, this is all about NoSQL. Thank you.